Hi, Kathy. We start in 40 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I am trying to split my screen, so give me a moment. I keep putting Zoom where I want it, and it keeps closing my Word document. So let's see if I can do this. Maybe. No, I've got one or the other. Hang on just a minute. No, isn't that strange? All right, give me one more minute. I'm going to send it to another computer so I can look at it there, and I will be with you shortly. I mean, I'm here, but I'm not really focusing yet. Computers have a mind of their own. Oh. All right, let's see. I think I've successfully transferred it. Now let me see if I can find it. There it is. All right. Might be in business. Yay. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. How is everybody today?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Good. A little frazzled with computers, but not bad. It's nice when you know what you have to do, you just can't do it. But I did it. Okay. So I hope everyone is feeling okay with our process as we work it out. The plan is moving forward to send you a new homework plus an answer key toward the very beginning of the week. So you will have two things you can do. Start looking at the new homework and start comparing your own last week's work to the answer key. And I hope this will take some responsibility off your shoulders and give you some additional help. We'll have one of you correct another person's homework. So we're hoping to pair up one-on-one and change the person who marks the homework every week so that you get different input from different thinkers in the group. So I think we had a few glitches setting that up this week, but I think that it will smooth out. Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. She has solidarity with my computer struggles. All right. So, any questions on that? Any comments? Any suggestions for how we could improve or change this process? What do you think? Are we going to wait and see how it works, or do people have concrete things to say right now? Okay. All right. We'll go along, and please put your comments, suggestions in the Telegram, and we will address them as best we can. So just tell me, because I haven't talked too much with Amirta or Marina yet, who have you been paired up to mark another person's homework yet? Amirta knows the answer to that.
My homework is already checked.
Okay, but you were the one who was assigning people. Do other
Yes,
people?
I can do this on the weekend, and I hope the other students can also understand which part there is.
Okay. Kathy, do you have a partner yet to check your homework?
I saw your name near mine, so I thought maybe Christina will.
Okay, I may have been assigned to do that because if we have an odd person, I'm the fallback. So I will check that and look. And everybody else feels that they are checking someone and being checked by someone. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right. So let us jump into homework 2. And I hope you all have that by now. Everybody has it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would like to do is not necessarily to answer the homework questions in this meeting, but to have you look at them in greater depth at leisure now. And if you have a question, if you can't figure something out, or you want to seek additional clarification, that is what this is for. So let's look at that now. So does everybody have it up on their screens or in a way that is accessible to them to look at? Look at question 1 and see if you feel you can answer that, or perhaps you have already answered it.
My answer is yes.
Sorry, the question is how many hard letters are there in Sanskrit?
Yes.
It's, I think there's 10 consonants. Don't know if there's the other ones.
I think 15.
I think it is 10 hard consonants and 15 soft consonants.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, 10 and 15. I think. Yes.
Okay, let's see. What do I have? I have 11 hard consonants.
Oh.
Why 11?
And 20 soft.
Whoa.
Oh,
Why?
no, I take it back.
You take it back.
I take it back because I included vowels in the soft, but I do have 11 hard consonants.
Which?
And 19.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. Yeah. No.
I think
Maybe 14 hard?
Okay, 11 hard, which is the first 2 columns in the main 25, Varga, ka, cha, ta, ta, and da. That's 8, right?
Sorry, you mean ta-ta.
Ta and ta.
No, you said da instead of pa. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I said that too many times. Right.
Yeah.
Right, you are. Ka. I just came from a meeting, so I'm a little disconnected. Ka, ta, and pa.
Happy.
Yes.
Isn't
that makes-
it 10 soft and 10 hard?
No,
Consonant, no?
the nasals would also be soft, right?
no, the nasals are hard.
Oh,
What?
nasals
Oh,
are
oh,
hard.
all right, wait. I have to meditate before I do this. The sibilants are hard, the nasals are soft.
Yeah.
Sibilants are the
Okay.
extra three.
Sh, and sa are hard.
Yes, and Uralaba, soft.
Soft. Yeah. All
So
right, I'm going
we
to
have
revise everything. You're right, because we have 10 in the main group, which we just recited.
Mm.
Aka, cha-cha, ta-ta, ta-ta, and papa. That's 10. Plus we have 3 sibilants. Shra, and sa. So how
So
many?
13.
13. Yes.
wait. We are yes. Sha, sa, it's hard.
Shra, and sa are hard.
Sha, sa, ha, 13.
13.
Then the soft ones are 19. Yeah.
So let's see.
Oh.
3.
And
No.
what is a ha?
All right,
It's
I'm going to
soft.
change that. Let's stay on the soft consonants. So we have 15 in the main grid, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
nasal is also soft, or nasal is extra, like 10 soft and 5 nasal, or nasal is extra?
Nasal are all soft.
Whoa.
So there's
15.
3 in each varga, and there's 5 vargas. So that's 15 to start with.
And what about Yara Lava?
Yara lava are soft. So that's 19.
19. But then you've also have ha.
15 plus
Ha.
4, 19. Okay.
24.
But we have ha. It's also hard.
No, ha is soft.
And la is also soft.
Which la?
La.
Yeah, yara lava, all soft.
Oh,
There's a
25. 25.
Wait, I need to correct my list.
All
I'm
right.
going to paste something in the chat if you can tell me what that letter is.
Which letter? The ha?
Ha.
That is the one that goes in sibilants, and we call it the orphan because it really is, it's not a sibilant. We just don't have any other row to put it in. It's a guttural letter. It's soft. It's unaspirated, I believe, and it's all by itself.
Yeah, but I see 2 la in the alphabet.
Yes, you do. And why do you see 2?
I've put them in the chat.
Right. And I'm not familiar with that Devanagari symbol for the first one, but
Okay.
Yara Lava is a group of letters which are, we call them either semi-vowels or semi-consonants, and that's because they function as both. But generally speaking, unless it's a vocalic lir, which has a different symbol, I'm not familiar with this one. Generally speaking, we consider them consonants. So we have 16 vowels, right? Etc.
Yeah.
Those have different Devanagari symbols from the semi-consonants.
And the in the vowel song, we've got the 16th, which is the it's aha. Which one's the last one?
Anuswara and Visarga.
Yeah, the Anuswara and the Visarga are not considered actual letters in the alphabet. So it's only the ha.
Marked, and we have to put them somewhere, so we put them in the vowels. But you're right. Technically speaking, they are more like vowel markers than vowels per se, but that's where we keep them in the sense of accounting.
Yes.
So
It's interesting because you don't have the virama and the what's it? Apagraha or something? Ahagraha. You don't have that anywhere. Those markers.
correct. Probably it's due to the prevalence. You're always
Okay.
having an anusvara and you're always having visarga in almost anything you write, but you somewhat rarely have a virama or an avagraha.
So I count 20 soft
Yes,
letters.
that's what I count. Does everybody get 20 soft letters?
Now, yes. I always
And what
think that this
about
ha,
ha?
All
soft.
the sibilants are soft, hard. Sa, sha, sa, hard. Which letter are you asking about?
Ha.
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 Ha is soft. And even though it goes in that group of 4 with the sibilants, just because we have nowhere else to put it, it's the orphan letter. It's soft and the sibilants are hard.
So it will be 20, not 19, plus ha.
20 soft.
Okay, I will add it.
Yeah. Add
I
that.
always think
plus
this
ha.
ha is hard,
Well,
not
the
soft.
is also a soft letter.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, Christina, that first la, my mistake. I just realized it's a Devanagari letter that's used in Hindi, not in Sanskrit.
Okay, because I'm not saying it's not used, but I'm not familiar with it. So do you have the symbol there for the vocalic lir?
I do.
Yeah, and we can see
Long one or short one?
Well, the short one, because the long one is a mythical letter. It doesn't exist in any words.
Yeah. One.
Well, I have a question. If the lir is a mythical words, we didn't use
Absolutely.
this letter in any word. Why we are
Learning it?
learning? Yes. What's the logic?
Well, it is a holdover from a more ancient version of Sanskrit. So it got collected, and we looked into Panini, who redid all of the grammar, right? So at the time he was doing the grammar, he collected that long lir. And I think if you think about it, you will see that it's logical, because for the 5 first vowels, I, u, r, I did that wrong. I, u, r, lir. Each has 2, a long and a short. So it is logical to include the more ancient letter, which is not used in classical Sanskrit, but only in Vedic Sanskrit, as a placeholder, because otherwise in this class, we would be saying, why is there no long lir? Because there's a long letter for each of the first 5 vowels. And by the way, the first 5 vowels are often called the simple vowels, because they have either a long or a short form without any combination. And we saw in last week's homework that the 4 guna and vardi vowels are combined vowels. So the first 5 are simple, and the last 4 are combined or strengthened, increased vowels.
So when you say the first 5, you mean long and short? So
There's
10.
Yes. And we have to decide. That's why IAST is so valuable for our purposes, because IAST shows you which of the pair we're using in any given word. If you are looking at a transliterated Sanskrit that doesn't bother with diacritical marks, which are the marks on the letters that tell us, who are students of IAST, exactly which letter it is, you won't be able to tell if Nagarjuna has any long A's in it, which we know it does. So yeah, the first 5 vowels, the simple vowels, come in pairs and you have to choose long or short. The other 4 vowels are combined and they're always long. So I call them one of Sanskrit's gifts to us because you don't have to make any decisions. They're always long. All right.
We can say that later we can see only in Vedic Sanskrit, not in classic Sanskrit, which we learned.
Yes. There is
Makes
no
sense.
known classical word containing a long lir. I actually
Okay,
asked
thank you.
one of the scholars that I sometimes talk with about this, and he confirmed it. And the only vestigial use we can find for a long lir in classical Sanskrit is as a sort of bija syllable referring to a certain god, but it's very unusual. So I'm going to say it's not used in classical Sanskrit, but it has a logical place in the vowel pairings. So there are some languages, Arabic is one of them, where the verb conjugations are all fully fleshed out, but 20 or 30% of them are never used, but they have forms should they ever have been required, which they were not. So it's a sort of logical filling out of a pattern when one element of that pattern is just never used.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so after all that excitement, let's look at question 2, and we will answer it only questions people have.
Sorry, did we answer why is it important to know about heart and self?
Oh,
Is
no,
that just for
right. We didn't answer that. All right.
Is that for pronunciation purposes?
Well, why is it important? Who knows?
I know, because it's very crucial in Sanskrit, because it could be different pronunciation and a different meaning, hard though and soft, I think, or meaning
I
changing
think also
completely
for
by hard and soft pronouncing. You can the meaning of the word is changing, I think.
Well, it's a different letter, so it would be a different meaning of a word, but that's not exactly the reason. Somebody else has an idea.
I think for Sunday roads. Yeah.
That's it. If we were doing Visarga Sandhi, right?
In Sunday, okay. Mm-hmm.
And we have the word samsara. How do we know what to change? Oh, that's Anusvara Sandhi. How do we know what to change the into? It's Anusvara Sandhi. Right? So if you have the word samsara, which would have a dot over that M, you have to know how to pronounce it because it's probably not going to be ma. It is in 20% of the cases, but in 80% of the cases, it's a different letter. And what letter would it be in samsara? What would we change that ma to? Think of your anusvara. And which varga?
But is it then based on the one of the syllables?
Well, the following letter to samsara, the one after ma,
is dental.
And it's a
So-
dental sibilant.
So it would be fourth varga.
Yep.
Mm.
But
Okay.
I don't understand how that proves that we need to know about soft and long.
Yes. And actually, you're right. And the first answer I gave, I'm sorry, I'm just not collected today. I have this new meeting.
No worries. No
and
worries.
it's right before this class, and I have to switch from the conventional or deceptive reality, which is my previous meeting, to the ultimate reality, which is Sanskrit. And that's hard to do. Let me revise. It is true that it's Sandhi that affects why we need to use hard or soft letters, but it is not, as I just wrongly said, Anusvara Sandhi. It is Visarga Sandhi. And we looked at one, we only did it 1 or 2 times in our classes. But if I could tell you that kalankaha na, right? Because remember, we had that example in our verse. Kalankaha na, I think it was Bhavedyata. But the na is a letter that follows the Visarga. And we know that Visarga indicates a probability of Sandhi. And the reason we choose what to do with that Visarga is whether the letter following it is hard or soft. And when you see more Visarga Sandhi rules, you will understand. You will put into practice more the example. But let's take kalankaha na. So the Visarga is kalankaha. And it's followed by what kind of letter?
Soft.
Na. Soft
Yeah.
letter.
So,
So we changed the Visarga to an O because the Sanskrit ear feels it cannot say kalankaha na, but it can say kalanko na. So bear that in mind, because in our next course, which will be OS4, we will learn many more Visarga Sandhi rules. I've collected, about 7, but there are more than 7. And we have touched on one Visarga Sandhi rule. And I have my handy index card for Sandhi, which you can't see because Zoom blurs everything. And it's very useful to jot down the rules when we learn more about them. So we will do that. But that is the main reason we want to keep at least in the back of our minds which letters are hard and which letters are soft. Because if you internalize this, when it comes to doing Visarga Sandhi, you will be able to it's the only way you'll know what to change that Visarga into. And it almost always changes. Okay. So implication of that is, when would you see a Visarga that wasn't changed? Probably. And this again is moving forward. We haven't really studied this yet. But the reason you're going to see a Visarga that hasn't changed is most probably because it's at the end of a line or the end of a phrase.
and there is a virama.
There wouldn't be a virama there because a Visarga is a vowel type thing. It's a vowel marker. So that would indicate that that word ended in a vowel with a vowel marker. Virama only occurs when you want to say there's no vowel included in this consonant.
Right.
All right, let's not worry too much about that. That's extra stuff.
So sorry, Christina, did we maybe I missed it, but can vowels be hard or soft?
No, vowels are soft.
Okay, thank you.
Another gimme.
So then when we said there's 20 soft letters, shouldn't we add the vowels?
I think you're actually right. And that is the second part of the question, which we didn't actually touch on. Can both vowels and consonants be hard letters? And we just answered it in reverse. What is the answer?
I think
Oh,
all
Consonant can be
No.
and vowels not classified.
Vowels are classified, and the answer would be no, because we just said that all vowels are soft, right?
Yeah, vowel is not classified for this to be hard or soft. They're soft.
It's not
They're-
appropriate.
They're not classified by hard or soft.
Right. So let's go back to my initial confusion, which is adding the soft letters into the hard letters. Because what I wasn't doing, which this question does do, is make a differentiation between vowels and consonants. So in Sanskrit, there are 49 letters, 16 vowels, and whatever 25 and 8 is, 33 consonants, 16 vowels and 33 consonants. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
60 vowels, 32 consonants.
33.
Yeah, because 13 and 20,
Yeah,
33, and 15 vowels.
16 vowels.
And 16 vowels can be always soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that makes it 36 soft letters.
It makes
I'm too bad in mathematics.
it makes it 20 and 16, which is 36
36, yeah.
soft letters.
Soft
20
letters, yeah.
soft consonants. And
33 consonants, 36 soft letters, 16 vowels.
16 soft vowels and 20 soft consonants,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And that leaves us with 13 hard consonants.
Mm. Yeah.
13 and 36 are 49.
Mm-hmm.
We're mathematicians here. Isn't this amazing? Okay. All right. So how many hard letters are there in Sanskrit?
13.
13.
How many soft letters?
36.
Soft letters, 36.
Can vowels and consonants both be hard letters?
No.
And why is it important to know about hard and soft letters?
Because of
Sandhi rules.
Sandhi grammar rules.
Which kind of sandhi specifically?
Is it only the Visarga?
Visarga?
Is. I'm not going to commit to that, but I'm going to say it's only Visarga sandhi.
Okay.
But I'll check into that and let you know next term.
Okay.
Or earlier if you insist. All right.
No, that's fine.
That's good. I didn't know that question was so complex, but it was. So this helps us. Diving into it in this way helps us to understand more about the bones of the language, because we look at it in an analytical fashion and not just in a rote learning fashion. So we begin to understand more deeply the whys and wherefores of the language. So I hope it adds dimensionality to your understanding. All right, question 2. Who wants to, well, again, we don't have to answer all the questions and do the homework here. So if you can answer it, we don't need to discuss it. But if you have questions or thoughts, we will chat about it now. So does everyone understand the question?
I understand the question, but I'm not sure about the answer. I would say that the root of a word is the word, the part of the word that excludes its suffix determined by the declination.
I think that's at least largely correct. But I think it would also tend to exclude any prefixes, which we haven't really talked about. Right?
And I don't know.
Kathy, what? Say it.
Yeah, I've wrote down root is the basis of many forms to create verbs or words.
Yes.
If we know roots, we can understand the meaning of words.
I think that's an excellent answer. I would only suggest what you said is not incorrect, but to be more precise, you could say it was the basis of many verbs and nouns.
All right, yeah.
And the root we cannot split anymore. Root is not splittable. Root we cannot divide it less. We cannot take prefix, suffix. The root we cannot split anymore for smaller parts, I think.
That's very Sautrantica of you, Elena. Very good.
Yeah, because it's like,
But
because
did
we
you
have
say,
prefix,
Elena?
suffix, and the root will not split anymore, because there is combined words, but
It's the basic element of a word.
exactly.
Yes, it's the
Unbreakable.
Atomic. Yeah, atomic. It's
I'll,
the
now I'll
Unsplittable.
understand this.
Unsplittable. Unsplittable. Basic of the words.
Unbreakable root. Thank you, Lina. You helped me to understand this.
But I want to return to something Andreas said. So Andreas, you said that if we take the endings off and I added prefixes off, we have the root. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes. I have a question about fourth question. What's the difference between Sanskrit roots and Indo-European roots?
Not there yet. We're still on question 2.
Sorry.
I'm about to disagree with Andreas.
I knew you were gonna, but that's how we learn.
There's like a verbal setup there. You knew that was coming, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Buddhist jokes are very good. Okay, so if we take the endings off a certain word, do we have a root or do we have another piece of grammar left? Let's think about yoga.
It's the ending.
What's the ending on yoga?
It's masculine A.
Short
Okay, so we're going to take that off and throw it away for the time being. And what letters are we left with?
Yog.
Huge.
Oh, somebody, that is exactly right. We are left with yog, but the root of yoga is yuj.
Is that
I
not
don't know
the
why I remember
Indo-European
this.
root? So which one's the Indo-European root and which one's the Sanskrit root?
Oops.
Neither. We're not at that part of the question yet. We're at a different part of the question. If you take the ending, the suffixes and the prefixes off a word, you're going to come with what question 4, which I think Elena just referenced.
It's a stem.
Yes, it's the stem. If you take the endings off and the prefixes off, you are left with the stem. But what is the root? And I think Kathy already gave the answer.
It's express the meaning, yeah? The core of the meaning, core.
The basic core meaning of the word, which may or may not appear in any word. So I am not a linguist, but a linguist could tell you how huge transforms into yog, right? And I don't actually know the answer to this, but I could try to research it. I don't think there is a word in Sanskrit that has the element yuj in it, with or without endings, you know. So a root, to go back to Elena and build on what Kathy said, is the basic unit of meaning of a word from which all other variations can be derived, but it may or may not appear per se in any actual words. So we have a lead in here to question 4, but before we go there, let's look at the second part of question 2.
Sorry,
What is
you said, sorry,
And also we can say that it's a foundation of the all other different words which we use in then the root. It's like foundation or basis of a foundation for other words is as well.
right? And just before we get to Andreas, to answer Elena, for instance, the word boo, the root boo, which we also saw, is the basis for words like bhavana and bhumi. So, you know, I mean, it happens to appear in bhumi, but it doesn't appear as BHU in bhavana, but it is the root of bhavana and it is the root of bhumi. Okay, so we know a little bit about why boo becomes bhavana, because we know that oos and vas are affiliated, right? Just the way I is affiliated with ya. So we wouldn't ever expect to see biyana, but we would expect to say bayana. All right, no, that doesn't work. Bhavana is from boo, but if it were bi, it would be ya. So it would be biyana, not bivana, because I is associated with ya and u is associated with va. So when we have a root like boo, we're going to expect a lot of va sounds because of that affiliation. So if you see any other word, I mean, let's make one up, you know, like abhavati, you're going to see a bh and a v. So you're going to assume it might be a root boo. Andreas, did you have another question on this?
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm, you said the root is the basic core meaning of the word from which various stems are created. Is that right?
I think that would be fair to say, yes.
And we didn't answer what the difference is between
Right.
Sanskrit roots and Indo-European roots.
That's where we're going next.
Okay.
So what is the answer?
Indo-European roots are older.
Yes. And they are, let's point out, I think what's obvious in that statement, they're a different language.
And I write it down, it's the basis of many European languages.
Very, very much so. And that is generally filtered through Sanskrit. So it goes Indo-European to Sanskrit to many modern European languages. Not always, because Anglo-Frisian, which is a Germanic language, often bypasses Sanskrit and comes directly from Indo-European. And Indo-European, I like to call it a mythical language because we don't actually have a known culture or a known corpus of literature or writing even that occurs in Indo-European. So we can't point to it was spoken by these people or those people in this region. A lot of it seems to go back to the ancient Middle East, maybe the Hittites and Sumerians possibly, but we don't know for sure. But somehow that language came to India, and Sanskrit was created in relation to it. Again, I'm not a linguist, so I don't know the details. This is very rough overview. And it imbued Sanskrit with the root meanings of words. And then that went to different modern European languages, particularly, not Asian languages. And they say not Middle Eastern languages. Doubts about that one. But an Indo-European root may or may not look like a Sanskrit root. And we saw the example of kar. And what is the root meaning of the Sanskrit root kar? Who remembers? Do or make. And the Indo-European for that, the Indo-European root that's related to that Sanskrit root is something like quer. And the Indo-European roots use different linguistical symbols that I'm not very familiar with. I just look them up in the roots book and I copy them into our PowerPoints. So I don't even know what the letters were in Indo-European, but we know how we represent them in some linguistical language. And I think if we look at quer and ker, we can see a correlation. But it's not always the case that Indo-European roots correlate to Sanskrit roots. So there is a difference, a strong relationship, but not an exact overlap in every case between Sanskrit roots and Indo-European roots.
So they not really depend on the grammar, yeah?
It's really nothing to do with grammar yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about root sounds and meanings. Grammar comes much later.
No, I mean the roots, this in the European root, they're not based on the grammar of the language, like in Sanskrit.
No, they're not.
Mm.
To do with the grammar, yeah. Okay, do we feel comfortable with that question?
One more comment. I can say that the Sanskrit root is used in the Sanskrit dictionary.
Ah, that is a great point. We haven't really delved into dictionary use yet. And that can be complex to become accustomed to. The more you use a Sanskrit dictionary, the more comfortable and familiar you will become with taking it apart and finding useful elements in it. But for me, a very important part of looking something up in the dictionary is trying to find the root. Because if I have a word that I'm not sure about, and it's in a different format, and I'm trying to find the meaning, if I can find the root, I will know which form to choose, which way to take my grammatical analysis, and which meaning I should focus on. So that's a great point. The dictionary, not all dictionaries, but the dictionary should tell you the root form of the word you're looking up.
So you're saying it should tell you the root form. What I'm saying is that if I'm looking it up, I need to know the root form. Am I incorrect?
Not necessarily, no.
But when you have a noun, you need to do the prefix and the suffix, and then you have then you can relate to the root, I think.
Yes and no. I think that takes us closer to question 4. When you look something up in the dictionary, you're going to start, in my opinion, with the stem form, and we'll talk about that next. If you look up huge in the dictionary, you'll probably find the meaning, but you may or may not find the form that you're looking at in your sentence. So you don't have to know the root of a word, because if we're working in our verse, nakinchidasti tadvastu, we're not going to find any roots there. We're going to be looking up
Stems.
declined or conjugated words. And the way we're going to do that is by finding the stem and looking up that stem. But if you were approaching it not from a textual standpoint, but from some linguistic standpoint, and you wanted to look up yuj or kar, you could do that, but it wouldn't give you karoti or karma necessarily. It would give you the meaning do or make. Now, some dictionaries, if you look up the root kar, will give you a long string of derived forms, but you might not get that. Or you might not get the one in your sentence that you were trying to translate. Does that answer that question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
But Christina, when you find the stem in the dictionary, then probably the root is mentioned too.
Yes, and that's where I started, because that's what I thought Andreas was asking. If you find a stem like bhav for bhavana, and you look up bhav, you find the meaning, and you will probably see that the root is bu in that when you're looking up bhav. I find, because I do a lot of work online, I mean, I don't really use a book of a dictionary. I look up things online. And when you use Wisdom Library, which I recommended, I think that's a very good source, you'll get 3 or 4 Sanskrit dictionaries in the Sanskrit translation section. And the only one that I find that reliably gives you the root, if you look up the stem, is the Monier-Williams version. Some of the other dictionaries in that grouping don't bother with the roots. And I like to know the roots, so I like to look at that version, that part of the definition.
I was looking to Naga, and I was looking for Nag, and then I came to the not the root, but the stem, I think. Yeah.
Stem is nag, right? Nag.
Nag, eh? Nag. Yeah.
And what did you find that it meant?
Yeah, a lot of explanation, a lot. But I think it's a really treasury. This library.
It's very rich, very rich. And I don't know what the stem of nug is off the top of my head. I have to look all these things up because I have not memorized the 1500 Sanskrit roots or whatever that number is. But it helps you as you're analyzing something to know that. And Kathy is also very right in the sense that a dictionary entry, unless it's a very unusual word, will probably have about this much text in terms of meanings. And an art of doing Sanskrit translation, which I hope we will get to in OS4, is when you look at that huge long list of meanings, which do you pick?
Yeah.
That's an art. That's a very fine art. And I learned this to my cost, because when I was studying Arabic, I would always try to give each meaning equal weight in my translation. But that's the wrong way to go about it. You have to quickly look at the list and look back at your sentence or your text and know what the subject of your text is. Like for us recently, it's been Bodhisattva vows. So we wouldn't pick all the meanings that say, oh, it can mean pig or lipstick or goddesses in Hinduism, or it can mean religious ceremonies. We look at that list of meanings and we say, religious ceremony, that fits the context of the work I'm working on. So I'm going to pick that meaning. So you have to be very selective, but we'll go over that in another class. Okay. And we sort of went over question 3. Is that clear to everyone?
There was something to explain cognates also.
Yeah. So somebody give me an example of a Sanskrit root.
Well, yuj is what we spoke about, and bu.
Those 3 we've sort of looked at. Yuj, bu, and kur. And what kind of symbol would we use if you were writing your homework, for instance, and talking about bu or kur?
The
Slash or
check
V.
mark.
One at a time. What?
I said the check mark.
I can write you
It's not
the
a
symbol.
mark. I mean, it's a
Slash
root.
Looks
or
like it.
V.
It has that extra little hook on it.
Mm.
And the line over, it has like a hook, a check mark, and then a line. It's a root symbol, and it's mathematical. It's in the mathematical symbols part of MS Word. If you look for that. And Kathy, what were you going to say?
I have 2, I have a slash and a sort of V. Both.
Yes, if you're in a rush or you're not on the right kind of software and you can't find a mathematical root symbol, you can use a slash in front of that, the kr or the b or the yuj. So either of those 2 symbols work. I like the root symbol, but it's sometimes hard to find. Can everybody find it in their software?
Yeah, I found it.
Okay. Right. And give me some English cognates for these 3 roots. I don't know if I know them, but I know a few. Let's see. Cognates for yuj.
Yoga.
Yoga is certainly one, and that's both a Sanskrit word and it has come to be an English word. We all know it in the English language. I think I put these in the homework, but
Union.
Union, perfect. That's 2, so we can leave it there. And a good dictionary will give you these, but it might have to have an Indo-European focus for cognates. I'll think about that and give you some source hints next time. What about some English cognates for kar?
I had create, and I think the Sanskrit word is cognate is karma also.
Yes, it's a Sanskrit cognate and an English cognate. It's somebody else.
What was it?
Create is the English,
Okay.
and karma is the Sanskrit cognate. Anybody else? Somebody else was going to say something.
I said maybe broke, but
Broke.
broke, but I'm not sure.
That was
It's
a B.
like someone, it's other root. I don't
Yeah.
remember what it is.
Yeah, I think that would be something else. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I'll check.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And I don't think I actually remember any English cognates for boo. Maybe become. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that. But yeah, I don't have that at the top of my head. Okay. All right. So then the extra credit question is, okay, what is a cognate? We just gave some, but what is it actually?
Can I try?
What?
Can I try?
Yes, yes.
I wrote down it's cognates are words in different languages based on the same root. Is it correct?
That's exactly right. It is a different language. You move into different languages with cognates, not Sanskrit, but it has the same root, whether that's a Sanskrit root or both a Sanskrit and an Indo-European root. So here we have to bring into play linguistic rules, which I don't know. But as Kathy mentioned, create is an English cognate of kr, but it's spelled with a C. And that's because of the function of the letter C in English. Now, as we know, it can be a soft or a hard sound. It could be create, or it could be church, or it could be acetone. You know, it has different ways of being pronounced in different languages. So we switch the k sound to a hard C in English in this case. But a lot of the cognates that you find in the dictionary are sometimes difficult to connect back to the Sanskrit root. But nonetheless, linguist people find a connection. And it's very nice because if you didn't know what cognate meant, but you knew Greek roots, you would know that ko means with, and gna, which I'll say is a Sanskrit root, jna or gnosis means knowledge in Sanskrit and in Greek. So it's co-knowledge. So it's a word that if you know one, you know the other because it connects in that way.
What was the Sanskrit term?
Sorry.
Jna.
Jna.
Gno or Gna. Jna, jna, gna. In Greek, it is a compound consonant, gnosis, right? Meaning knowledge. In Sanskrit, jnana, meaning knowledge. So that is the root of that word. Although ko is Greek, not Sanskrit. What?
In Greek, you have also kreatos, eh?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
My Greek is rusty, so I'd have to look that up. I would not.
The N in jna is the palatal nya.
I believe it is because it has that little tilde over, right? But it's a compound consonant that has its own symbol, janya.
Okay.
So that's the one that we learned as a potentially, extra consonant along with ksha, because they're commonly found. But if you don't know the symbol, it's very hard to figure it out. So you have to memorize it. All right, we're a little bit over time. I think we sort of talked about 4. And I'm not going
And
to
the last one we can do.
Yes, I was just going to say, I'm not going to go over the last one because you know now double exactly how to find the stem, and you know how to decline it. So I will look forward to your homeworks, and we will get the system going for getting the answer key out with the new homework early in the week, and go over things in class and pair you up to Mark. All right. Any last questions, comments, thoughts?
It will be
Christina, can we look at recording this recording? Because I think it's very useful to write the additional notes.
For this session, you mean?
Yeah.
I see. I'll have to check with Amirta and Marina, and we'll get back to you as to whether there will be recordings available for this.
For the homework classes.
Homework classes.
All right, nice. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, see you next time.
Thank
Excellent
you.
work.
Thank you
Don't
very
forget to
much.
rejoice.
Thank you. Thank you very
you.
much.
Dedicate.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.